Hi! Within this lecture, we're going to see how to use Bettercap framework in order to run man-in-the-middle attacks to the target computer one more time. So actually, we have man-in-the-middle framework, we have Bettercap, and we have other tools as well. So the reason why we are going with Bettercap is that man-in-the-middle framework is not updated anymore. Okay? So Bettercap is spelled like this, and you don't have to write that right now. If I hit enter, it will start in my terminal, but in your case it won't be installed. So I'm coming out of this. I'm just writing this to show you how it's spelled. It's spelled like Bettercap. And this is an updated tool. This gets regular updates and it improves itself regularly. And we have other tool called Ethercap. And we're not gonna cover that tool in our course. Actually, it works fine as well, but it's kind of hard to use it. It's not very user friendly. So rather we're going to go with Bettercap. Okay? And of course, we have man-in-the-middle framework as well. If you have skipped man-in-the-middle framework lectures for some reason, it's spelled like this. But as I mentioned before, it stopped updating, and for some time I believe it will be outdated, even though it's running fine right now and it's even performing better in some sort of functions when we compare it to the Bettercap. It will be outdated for some time in the future, so we're going to cover Bettercap as well. We have already seen how to use man-in-the-middle framework to run man-in-the-middle attacks. Now I'm just going to delete this and I'm going to install Bettercap so that we can start learning about this tool. So all you have to do is just run apt-get install for starters, but before we do that, I'm just going to write apt-get update in order to update my repositories, okay? So first you have to run this apt not slash dash get update, and it will take a minute and it will update your repositories. And then we're going to run apt-get install to install the Bettercap on our Kali Linux machine. Once it completes, you can just write apt-get install Bettercap. So once you do that, you can hit enter. It will start downloading the necessary libraries and the Bettercap itself. If it asks you if you want to continue by making you write Y or N for yes and no, of course you're just going to write Y with a capital Y, okay, uppercase Y, and hit enter during this installation process. But in my case it didn't ask me, so I'm good to go. And now I'm just going to show you how to use this tool. Now we are actually ready to start Bettercap. So let me clear this terminal up, and in order to run Bettercap we have to specify our interface like we did in the man-in-the-middle framework section. Now I'm just going to say Bettercap not slash dash again iFace. So this stands for interface, and Bettercap eFace ETH0. Now I'm using my Kali Linux and Windows in the same NAT network, so I can go with ETH0. But if I wanted to do that on my wireless USB Wi-Fi card, I should have written WLAN O. Once you do that, hit enter and it will take you in the Bettercap tool. Now as you can see, it shows my own IP, which is 10.02.15, and it has a great documentation built inside of the tool. All you have to do is just write help and it will list all the modules, all the things that you can use with Bettercap. So this is it. As you can see, we have a lot of modules over here and we're gonna cover the most important ones. And here we have some other commands as well. We're gonna see what they are, don't worry. So this looks like a complicated big tool. This is indeed a big tool, but it's not complicated at all. So first module that we're going to dive into is called net.probe. So this has actually one module running right now, and it's events.stream, and it keeps track of what's going on behind, what's going on in the tool, so it's always running. Okay, it doesn't make any sense to turn this off, so it comes running as default by default. But as you can see, there are a lot of modules over here and none of them is working. So we're gonna start with net.probe. So I'm going to write help net.probe, and it will show me the documentation of the related module. So as you can see, this keeps probing the new hosts on the network, so it sends some UDP packets so that we can learn what kind of devices are on our network. So we did this by using NetDiscover or Nmap before. Now we're going to use this module in order to get the devices connected to our network. So if you say net.probe on, it will just start the net.probe for you. So as you can see, it already detected the Windows machine on our network. So I have my Windows machine over here, and I have this 10.02.4 IP in the Windows machine, and it detected the IP and it detected the MAC address as well. Now if you run help, you will see net.recon and net.probe is running. So recon is a dependent module of net.probe, so they work together to get every device connected to the network. And if a new device comes in, it will automatically detect it and it will show a notification to you saying that yep, this device just got connected to the network. And it's very cool actually. So in fact, if you have Bettercap, you don't have to use NetDiscover, you don't have to use Nmap. If you say net.show in any point in time, it will show you this cool table where you can see the IP, the MAC, the name, and the vendor and other parameters as well. For example, we see the gateway over here, which is 10.02.1 in our case, and we see this 10.02.3 and 4, and this 3 should be the virtual box itself, but in our case we are interested in with 10.02.4, which is our Windows machine. So we see the result like we did in the NetDiscover, and in fact I believe this is a little bit more detailed and it's actually working very good. So as you can see, the Bettercap is kind of more comprehensive when we compare it to the man-in-the-middle framework. It's kind of more user-friendly. So what we want to do is to learn how we can run an ARP attack against this 10.02.4, against our Windows machine. And I'm going to stop here, and we're going to learn how to do that within the next lecture.